She killed her husband and then tried to blame her 12-year-old daughter for his murder. You're probably not even going to believe half of what I'm going to tell you in this case, how a wife, a mother, a person could be so evil. When Stacey was only 17 years old, she met and started dating the 23-year-old Michael Wallace. And even though she was only 17 and he was 6 years older than her, Stacey said after only knowing Michael for a few minutes that she knew that she was going to marry him. And she was right. And after tying the knot, Michael and Stacey went on to have 2 daughters, Ashley and Bree. And for a while, Stacey and Michael had a seemingly happy, normal life until problems started to pop up in their marriage. They were fighting constantly. Michael spent a little time in jail after getting multiple DUIs, and Stacey was also accusing him of cheating. So they were actually planning to get a divorce. The plan was to tell their 2 very young daughters that they were getting a divorce after the holidays, like let them have one happy Christmas, but they never got the chance. Because that winter, Michael got really seriously sick and no doctor could figure out what was wrong with him. And then on January 11th of the year 2000, Michael's 2 daughters came home and found him on the verge of death. An ambulance was called and Michael was rushed to the hospital, but he tragically passed away on the way to the hospital. His cause of death was believed to be a heart attack, but he was only 38 years old, so this was very sudden and unexpected. It's just very rare for someone in their 30s to die from a heart attack. Michael's parents wanted to do an autopsy, but his wife Stacey refused. She buried him and cashed in on his life insurance policy. And a year later, Stacey was already in a new relationship. David Castor was also a single parent. He had a son that he was very close to. David and Stacey married in 2003, but only 2 years later, tragedy struck again. On August 22nd, 2005, Stacey called 911 because she was worried about her husband. She said they got in this big fight, so David went and locked himself in their bedroom. He didn't go to work and had been pretty much locked in their bedroom for over 24 hours. Police came and they knocked down the bedroom door and they found David dead, face down in his bed, surrounded by throw up. Next to his bed on the nightstand was a cup of green liquid, and under his bed was an empty bottle of antifreeze. If you don't know, antifreeze is a green liquid and it is poisonous to humans, but it tastes kind of sweet. If you ingest a little bit of it every single day over a long period of time, it will make you very sick and eventually will kill you. It's also really hard to detect. And an autopsy did confirm that David died from ingesting antifreeze. His wife Stacey seemed devastated, and she told police that she believed that her husband unalived himself and he had been extremely depressed for months. So the question was, did David himself drink the antifreeze, or was he poisoned and murdered? They checked the glass of antifreeze that was on the nightstand, and the only fingerprints on the glass belonged to David's wife, Stacey. So very quickly, she was looking like a suspect. And even worse for Stacey was in David's will, he left everything to Stacey and Stacey's 2 daughters, even though he honestly wasn't that close to Stacey's 2 daughters, and he didn't leave anything in his will to his son, who he was extremely close to. So was this a fake will? Did Stacey forge this will? So the police are definitely looking at Stacey, and it was even more suspicious when they discovered that Stacey's first husband, Michael, also died unexpectedly under very mysterious circumstances. Stacey actually buried her 2 husbands next to each other, even though they never met. It was like she's collecting dead husbands. They exhumed her first husband, Michael's body, and finally gave him that autopsy, and it was confirmed that Michael had also been poisoned by antifreeze. The walls are really coming in on Stacey now, and she knows that she's a suspect, so she starts looking for a way out of it. She's looking for someone to blame. Stacey's oldest daughter, Ashley, had just started her first year of college, and since her mom had just lost 2 husbands in the span of 5 years, Ashley came home to be with her mom and comfort her. While home, Ashley consumed drinks that her mom made her, and she got really sick. And after only being home with her mom for 2 days, Ashley's younger sister, Bree, found her sister, Ashley, barely clinging to life. And on a 911 call, their mom, Stacey, said that her daughter, Ashley, had taken a bunch of pills and tried to unalive herself. Next to Ashley was a typed note where she confessed to killing her dad, Michael, her stepdad, David. She said her mom was innocent and that she was going to unalive herself because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she did. Ashley was rushed to the hospital and she miraculously did survive. The doctor said that if her sister Bree had found her 15 minutes later, that she would have likely died. When questioned, she had no idea about a note. She was adamant that she never killed anyone and said the last thing that she remembered was taking a drink that her mom gave her. Stacey had tried to poison her own daughter. So Stacey was finally arrested for the murder of her second husband, David, for forging David's will and the attempted murder of her daughter. Stacey was never charged with her first husband, Michael's murder. And in her trial, her defense was to keep blaming her daughter, Ashley, for both of her husband's murders. And this is absolutely one of the most disgusting things I've read in such a long time. Not only did Stacey try to kill her own daughter, but now she's blaming her daughter for her own father's murder and her stepdad's murder. Ashley would have only been 12 years old when her dad died. It took the jury 4 entire days to come back with a verdict, and when they did, they found Stacey guilty of all charges and she was sentenced to 51 years in prison. But there's still so many unanswered questions. Why did Stacey do all this? Why did she kill Michael? Why did she kill David? Was the motive all money, or did she just never have a heart to begin with? We will never know because Stacey maintained her innocence until the day she died in 2016 at the age of 48 years old from a heart attack. All of my love goes out to her daughters, Ashley and Bree, in their journey of healing. All my love also goes out to the families of Michael and David as well. Please remember all of them in this case, and in the comments, please be respectful. And while you're in the comments, please let me know what case you want to see me cover next. Thank you to everyone that suggested that I cover this case, and I will see you guys all next time in my next video. Please, please, please be a good person to your fellow person.